Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you for checking out another episode. Thank you to all of you that have been sticking with me over the years. I appreciate all your continued support and keeping this show going. So couldn't do it without you all. Thank you. Today's episode features singer-songwriter Patrick Gerard. Had a great time hanging out with Patrick, getting to know a little bit more of his story and some of the stories behind some of these songs. He's got a brand new EP out there you can listen to, but we do play some live acoustic ones on the show for you today, and had a lot of fun with these, so hope you enjoy it. Do want to remind you, as always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri. Serving up all your craft beer needs, over 25 rotating taps out there, and all kinds of beverages. You can get some delicious food. They got burgers and nachos and salads and flatbread pizzas and all kinds of tasty things there. And of course, you can enjoy some great live music out on the patio. And this coming up weekend on September 30th, Friday night, Matt Waltershed will be out there. Saturday, October 1st, Denver Wade Trent. And October 2nd, Sunday, 1 to 4, First Things First. You can find the full beer menu, full food menu, and concert calendar, and everything else at friendshipbrewingcompany.com. And be sure to get plugged in with them on the socials, on Facebook and Instagram, for more info. Also, big thank you to my friends at Roughneck Beard Company and American Rambler, located in Maplewood, Missouri, and you can stop in and visit the shop on Manchester or shop 24/7 at roughneckbeardcompany.com. It's officially beard season. The weather is cooling off and it's prime time for growth. Whether you are keeping it going or growing it out for the first time, Roughneck Beard Company products make it better. Eliminate the itch and set the stage for a faster, fuller growth with Roughneck's full line of beard oils, balms, washes, and nutrient sprays. Find it all at roughneckbeardcompany.com and use my code RPP15 for an exclusive 15% off your purchase. Again, all your favorite beard oils, their balms. One of my personal favorites is their Roughneck Beard Batter, and all kinds of great things over there. Again, roughneckbeardcompany.com for all your needs to take care of that beard and mustache of yours. All right, that is it for me, everybody. If you need me, of course, you can always find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. Hit me up on the socials. Feel free to email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. And with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy this brand new episode with Patrick Gerard.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening. This is Patrick Gerard, and you are listening to Rock Paper Podcast. I hope you enjoy.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with Patrick Gerard. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It's good to be here.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Good to finally meet you in person.
Bring that in just a little close. There we go.
it's nice to finally meet you in person, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I know we've kind of been friendly online for a while now, and this is cool that we finally get to actually sit down and get to know each other a little better and learn about what you've been up to. And
yeah, I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me for a little bit, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this is fun. This whole show is ultimately a giant networking tool for me. Like, gets me out meeting all kinds of people, gets me out seeing different parts of the city and everything else. So I enjoy it a lot and have a lot of fun doing this still. And but
I appreciate you, man. 'Cause, you're helping me out a lot. So it's good to be on here finally.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's. I always kind of like to start with St. Louis, I feel like that's, being that where we're from and here and everything else. But has St. Louis always been home for you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, St. Louis, born and raised. I grew up in Oakville, kind of South County area, right between Oakville and Melville. Right at the end of 8th grade, we moved to Kirkwood. My parents did, and that's where they live now. And so we've been living in South City for a couple years now. So
yeah, man. What
St. Louis is home.
And you were telling me a little bit before we clicked record that your parents were pretty big into music. I guess, is that where a lot of this started for you? Was
absolutely,
them
man.
and their records?
Yeah. So Saturday mornings were a very common thing for my mom to be blasting Wham or something very upbeat while she's cleaning. So I remember being woken up very early with a lot of very poppy music. But yeah, along with that, just riding in the car, man. A lot of singing along with records in the car with my parents. Like I was saying, so my mom was very big into Motown, the Temptations, the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, and also like the Beach Boys and kind of more pop style music. My dad, on the other hand, was very into the Eagles and the Doobie Brothers and the Allman Brothers and kind of rock bands like that, but also singer-songwriter. So like I was saying, James Taylor, Dan Fogelberg, just a lot of great storytellers. Carole King, just phenomenal artists. And I'm glad that they both had very similar but different tastes because, it gave me kind of a diverse background of things to take from.
For sure, man. Yeah, I can. I was pretty similar in my home. Mom was more into I feel like a lot more bluesy stuff. Clapton and B.B. King and these kind of. I remember getting a lot of going through her collection was a lot more of that vibe. And Dad was we had ZZ Top and Skynyrd and Allman Brothers and a lot of Southern rock stuff, but he also liked a lot of country. Like I remember he had this Conway Twitty box set that we would listen to a lot in the truck and and but yeah, that kind of stuff. And it was just fun to, like I said, a lot of variety. And then we even kind of grew up having these like you said, those Saturday mornings you said, right? It's it was kind of like that for us. Like when over the weekend we'd have our little jam room kind of thing. Dad played a little bit, some guitar and some harmonica and things, but he never really had a band. He would kind of fiddle around with it but I can recall we had me and my dad, my brother, we would had our family band thing, and we would me and Brett Dustin would sing along to, and I had memories of Ozark Mountain Daredevils that I've been standing on a rock just waiting for my seeds to grow.
Yeah, dude.
And,
okay, I was wondering why that sounded so familiar.
Yeah, I mean they have tons of great songs, but
right,
that one always that memory stands out. Singing that song and just ridiculous song, but it was fun, man. It was fun to being introduced to music, especially like that at a young age, and really helped shape who I am, and my taste in music and everything else. And I'm sure, very similar for yourself. So
yeah, dude, especially when it's family memories. That's
right.
the best to have. They're the core memories that you can always take with you.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, dude. No, it's funny you brought up singing with your siblings. So, like I said, my dad was big into the Eagles. Whenever he would be driving us around, they had a song called "Get Over It."
Yeah.
And when you don't really know the words to the song and you can't look up the lyrics, you just make up whatever sounds right in your head.
Yeah.
And we were young kids, so we thought it was "Get Home, Barrette." Yeah,
Right.
for whatever reason, that was what stuck with us. But yeah, so we still make jokes about that to each other.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Good times.
It's
Good times.
fun. Yeah, that's such a funny thing. Like, I think I called Stacy out, my wife, a little while back. She was saying, I heard her saying something, and I'm like, "What are you singing?" I'm like, she's like, "That's what they say." I'm like, "No, that's definitely not what they say."
Yeah, and sometimes it's the best when you read what they're actually saying. You're like, oh wow, okay,
Right.
I was not close.
I was
at
way
all.
off. Yeah,
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 yeah, it's good, dude. It's good.
yeah. That's definitely. I think everybody kind of got into some form of that, like just especially before you could actually look up what they're saying, and
Right.
But yeah, there's a great like series online like these misheard lyrics, and it's like there's a guy that I've noticed it like now on TikTok, and it's weird, man. Like it messes with your brain. Like he holds up the like what the misheard lyrics, what he and I'm like, wow. Now it's hard to hear it the right way and stuff, and
Right.
like I'm like as you're reading along with it, just like it does sound exactly like
Stuck in your head.
yeah. And so
That's hilarious.
yeah.
What's this guy's name?
I don't know. I forget that guy's name, but I've seen a couple of his videos. They popped
Check
up, and
those out.
it's but like I said, it's kind of a mind freak thing. It's like what's going on here? Like
Right.
what kind of magic is this?
Right, dude.
So-
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But yeah, no, it's that's fun, man. Especially like laughing about those. It becomes still a continued running joke and stuff. And
yeah, man. Yeah.
but what about what was it for you? Is actually getting to play? Like was where did that kind of get started with? It was always guitar,
Well,
or did it start with keys?
so it was funny enough, both grandparents had pianos. My dad's mom played a little bit, my godmother did a little bit, but no one in my family really played music. But I have a lot of pictures of me in a diaper banging on my grandparents' piano,
Right.
which is funny enough. And my cousin Jeremy had a drum set, a very beautiful pearl maple kit with fantastic Zildjian cymbals, master sound hi-hat, like Dark Ride. It was a phenomenal kit just for a young child to sit at. So that kind of started everything. But guitar was really my first instrument. I had a couple neighbors that had them, and they just let me strum on it here and there. Another neighbor was kind enough to give me an old Roadster Ibanez that his, I guess, brother was cleaning out of his attic and was about to toss out. And he was like, here, let me give it to my young neighbor. He'd really like it. And yeah, that kind of started the ball. But so it was guitar first. I picked up drums next, and then bass, piano, and it kind of all followed. But yeah, man, guitar was the first, and it's still the most
Yeah,
consistent with me, I guess.
yeah, man. What about as far as writing? I mean, obviously you got a lot of your originals out there now, and has writing always been something that you
Yeah.
were passionate about?
Yeah, man. So my mom's always ingrained in me to journal. Journaling is like the best way to get your feelings out and kind of get things off without... It's really just the easiest way to communicate with yourself and be honest. And so poetry was something that I just kind of naturally fell into. So when it came to songwriting, it was just something I always did to just get feelings out and kind of decompress a little bit. So yeah, naturally it was just something I kind of gravitated towards. But yeah, it's something I still do constantly. Whenever I get an idea, whatever, I have notebooks that are just stacked up, and I always have notes going in my phone of just ideas going on. But yeah, man, I remember Sum 41 was a massive band that I was a big fan of as a kid. That and Blink-182, Green Day. But I remember constantly stealing their songs, the music. I would use the tabs and write my own lyrics on top of it and think that it was like my own song. And it took me a long time to figure out that that's not how it works.
Right.
You can't really do that. You have to come up with your own stuff. But yeah, that was the first time that I was like, okay, it's, you put your own story to the music, and it kind of makes it your own. Obviously it wasn't at the time, but now when I'm telling stories, I try to make them sound unique to my story and who I am, and what I see and what I feel.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, so that's kind of just what I love most about music, is not only for the songwriter but the listener as well. You can kind of find something in there for you or connect with it in a way, and
Yeah.
the best songs do that.
Yeah, man, it's powerful stuff when you find, there's a bunch of them for me, but like when you find that artist that you resonate with, or that particular song that, feels like it's telling your story, or, whatever it might be, like, it's fun to build that connection with that stuff. And, but yeah, that's what
Yeah.
keeps me chasing looking for new songs all the time because keep chasing that feeling and stuff. So
Right. Well, yeah, that's the one thing that I love most about music is that you can hear one song, you can hear the intro or a certain part of it, you can hear an entire album, and it'll take you back to a certain place, time, person,
oh yeah,
feeling, emotion that you had, like a time in your life.
oh yeah,
That's the best thing for me, man, is that you just hear that one song and you think of a certain person or a relationship, a friendship that you had.
right.
That's what I love about music. And I find talking to people that they get that with food or drinks of some sort. Like all the senses bring back these memories, but music is something that everyone can kind of connect with.
Yeah, it's like time
what I
travel.
love.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
weird, man. And sometimes I can put on certain things and go right back to memories of like, cruising around at 16 in my, first car with my buddies and,
Right.
those kind of things like that. Like, it's like immediately linked to like these core memories and stuff that,
Right.
and, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Music. Yeah. I say this a lot, but it's music is so undiscovered, and there's a lot that it's so powerful. We don't know fully what it can do yet, but it's so cool, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I got friends that, actually like work as, doing like music therapy and stuff. And like, so yeah, it's really, cool that it's actually, becoming more of a science, like that people are using
Right.
music to help people and stuff. So
Yeah. It's very interesting.
yep. But let's give them a little glimpse of what you've been up to. Speaking of your writing, and we did a couple of them here live today in the living room, and had fun recording these. And
man.
and this is we'll start with a song called "Listen," parentheses the sound. And now tell me about this one, man. How this kind of come about?
So this is a song I've been working on for a really long time. I've had it for a while that I've been kind of bouncing around, but it was based off of a dream that I had multiple times yearly as a child throughout my adolescence to early teens. And it's this very strange dream where I was with a dark-haired girl and we were winding through these kind of what now looks like Irish hills. It was a very hilly, kind of misty area. And we come upon this tree and we sit on a branch that overlooks this very beautiful, massive moon that was purple and orange, and it was very trippy. What I would say now is very trippy and kind of psychedelic looking. But as a child, it was just a very strange dream, and I had it yearly, consistently throughout the years. And so it was just something that stuck with me, and I was like, okay, I need to write this down. And so that's how the song kind of came about. Yeah, it was such a strange dream, but it turned out into being a very beautiful song that was therapeutic for me. Whenever I sing it, I realize that I need to slow it down a little bit because there's a lot to digest, I guess. But yeah, I really love the song, man, and I hope people connect with it.
Yeah, very cool.
This is a rare occasion for me, crashing in the middle of the night, lighting up a dark and empty dream. There's something about you that just feels so right. Maybe it's the fact that you're with me, maybe it's your eyes that help me see it through. If you wanna take a back road, turn the volume up, grabbing on the branches, climbing to the top, looking at the stars, saying the world's not enough. It's not enough, it's not enough. So let's take a back road, roll the windows down, the highest on the tree, the moon's closer to the ground. Here I sit, and I'll say, I would never wish this life away. I just listen to the sound. Burned in my heart and my brain, and to this day I'll never feel the same. What I get to know who you are, oh, what I get to hear you sing my name, oh, oh. wanna take a back road, turn the volume up. Grabbing on the branches, climbing to the top. Looking at the stars, seeing the world's not enough. It's not enough, it's not enough. So let's take a back road, roll the windows down. The highest on the tree, the moon's closer to the ground. Here I sit, and I'll say I would never wish this life away. I just listen to the sound. Oh. If you wanna take a back road, turn the volume up. Grabbing on the branches, climbing to the top. Looking at the stars, see the world's not enough. It's not enough, it's not enough. So let's take a back road, roll the windows down. The highest on the tree, the moon's closer to the ground. Here I sit, and I'll say I would never wish this life away. I just listen to the sound. Oh.
Yeah, I love songs like this that like the use a lot of imagery and stuff. Like you're saying, you painted the picture with that dream, but like even just like as you're singing about like some of the lyrics and things, you can kind of start creating the image in your head too with it. So it's it's fun to when songs are able to do that for you sometimes, and you can paint the picture along with it.
Right, man. Yeah.
But this was cool, man. I'm glad to hear that. Did you pull that from a journal, or is this still just a memory that sticks with you? That dream and stuff, like
it still just sticks with me.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. So I don't have the piece of paper anymore. So that box over there, I have just papers that are just poems and lyrics and stuff that I've wrote over the years. And I want to say I had it for a little bit, but I lost track of it. But yeah, it's still a very vivid image in my head that I want to eventually have a graphic artist try to make, just to kind of make it a reality. But yeah, man, it's still stuck with me. I haven't had the dream in years, but I still remember it, and it's very strange. Yeah,
I wonder what that means, like, or if there is anything else to it, like, it's the fact that it's been reoccurring and resonated that much with you to where so
and
maybe there's more to it there. I don't know.
When we dream, where do we go, man? It's so strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of curious, man. There's got to be some meaning to it. But
yeah. I don't know. I've never really, there's none of them that like, I've had a lot of super weird dreams, obviously. Like none of them I really remember and like that stick with me a whole lot.
Right.
I did just talk about it the other night. It was kind of probably the most, vivid and but it's been a couple of years now, but like my mom got sick and passed in 2019 from brain cancer.
Man.
Yeah, thanks bud. And it was tough, and so she died in December 2019, and then like it was soon after, like I remember I don't know, I had this like super vivid like dream of like her in this like red evening gown and her hair done up nice and just like looked like she was going to some dance or whatever, like kind of thing like that. She was all dressed up for a nice evening, and I don't know, so I kind of took it just that it was very peaceful, like that she was happy and well wherever she was at and things, and like that there was something like that, that she was just letting me know that she's okay or something. But it was like, I don't know. That's the only one that really like sticks with me. That
Sure.
And it was pretty wild, man. I'm like, I don't know. I know I read something into it that like they say some of that's like them visiting you or something.
Right.
So I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't really know much about that, a lot of that stuff, but I'm glad it happened, and it was interesting, and it was it was a cool experience for sure.
Right.
Like we just woke up like, at ease like about everything. So
That's awesome.
yeah. It was, but it was kind of trippy at the
Great
same.
dream to have.
Yeah, it was kind of trippy at the same time. It was just like how realistic everything felt like at the time and stuff. So
Right.
yeah, it's your mind. The mind is a powerful thing, man.
Right, dude. Yeah.
So those dreams are, it's crazy where just how active you can be even though you're asleep and stuff. So
Really though, it's it's a beautiful thing what our brain does, but it's so so strange.
all right.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah. So it was. I don't know. I've never really. I probably should do something like you were talking about, writing them down and like writing some of this stuff down, and maybe there's a song in there somewhere on some of mine because
Yeah.
I don't know. There was one not too long ago actually, like woke me up and like kind of, I don't know. It was like a kind of a bad one, like a scary one. It's like, it was like I don't even remember now what it was, but I was like, it was just enough. It was like enough to like.
Enough to shake you
Yeah, I was like,
awake.
whoa, man, what was that?
Right.
I don't know if I was watching some scary movie before I went to sleep or what, but it was just like, it's just, again, some of that stuff and how, where your mind takes you. But
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so you, I guess you got, obviously listening to a lot of your music, it seems you draw from a lot of various inspiration and stuff other than dreams and that you had as a kid and stuff. But do you find, what do you find you like maybe you're most creative? Like, is there certain, like, do you have to force yourself to sit down and write some of these songs sometimes, or do you just naturally kind of, like you're saying, you write a lot of these like notes in your phone and lines or things like, but is there like a certain place you go to or anything else that you find that you are able to create more of or anything like that?
Well, so it's what I love about songwriting, and I also hate about songwriting, is that it's the most annoying and frustrating process because it's never the same.
Right.
For me, like I was saying, kind of driving in the car is where I get a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that I safely can take out my phone and type something in or do a voice memo or something. But yeah, I'm always writing stuff down. Like it's always taking ideas and notes just to have and to kind of revert back to. But when it comes to actually putting them with songs, that is so inconsistent. It's very much like I'll go in a spurt of coming up with ideas. Like I've been in the past couple weeks, I've come up with 4 or 5 new songs. Mm-hmm. And they're good ones that I like and I'm like excited to work on. But there will be a dry spurt, I should say, for months where I can't come up with anything. So I kind of have to work back through the songs that I already have. But yeah, it's a very strange and annoying process. But
Right.
it's like, yeah, it's the same with journaling, man. It's just such a great thing to do and work through and get those feelings off my chest. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it and the most way to be conductive in coming up with good ideas. And I find when I'm by myself just strumming my guitar
Right.
at ease, it's when I'm the most when I'm able to come up with these ideas and come up with the feelings I want to say and write them the right way.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just kind of being patient and letting them come to you.
Right.
It seems.
Yeah. I imagine that's like probably the case for most people. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's probably not that I've wrote any songs or anything, but just like I do find myself when I'm cruising, like, I don't know if it's something about it, like, obviously you're paying attention to the road and being safe and everything, but you also, there's something about it that like kind of like allows your mind to like be open and stuff to where you can create. I think like even
Right.
like even when I am like listening to the radio, like I'll sometimes like just make up song, words over it or what, just different, whatever it is, like something like that. There's something about that happens that just like, so maybe if I did properly channel those things. Maybe there's something there, but actually writing some songs, but I just more like make up dumb things and make myself laugh while I'm, so
that's the best to do though. Yeah.
Making parody songs or whatever it is. And
right. Yeah. Those are the best, man. Yeah. No, there is something. It's like meditation almost, driving in the car when you're listening to music and just in the zone. Because you're right. You're paying attention and you're there, but it is kind of almost meditation.
Right.
In a way.
Yeah. What's when you're cruising like that and you got your tunes on? What are you listening to these days? What is there anything in particular that you've been big on right now?
So the 1975 is a band that I've really gotten into over the last few years. Matty Healy's the songwriter of the band, and I really like how eloquent he is with his words. He puts things in a good way that's easy to digest and kind of speaks to you well. Sturgill Simpson is another artist that I've really been getting into, man. Yeah. Him and Tyler Childers. I've always had buddies that were like, check them out. You'll love them. And I should have listened to them sooner because they're both phenomenal. But I was
supposed to see them both together at Chaffetz, and then got canceled. Was postponed, and then eventually got canceled because of COVID and stuff. But I was like, man, that would have been a good night to see both of them together.
Right, man. Yeah. And then finding out that Sturgill Simpson actually produced Tyler Childers' record was like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah,
they're both like kind of the top of their game right now with the kind of rootsy,
almost like outlaw country.
Kind of bringing the country revival back, like, the actual outlaw country stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
But they're a lot of fun. I've seen both of them live separately and stuff. Like I saw Sturgill at Fox, and I've seen Childers at the Pageant and things. Dope. So seen them in some nice theaters and things. And but two of the best right now going for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, and Chris Stapleton as well. Like you can't forget him. We saw him at Hollywood Amphitheater.
Yeah, I got to see him. Actually, I got. It's pretty wild to think about, but I got to see him at Firebird with about 400 people.
What?
On the right as like Traveler came out.
Yeah,
and he was on that tour, and I mean, even
was
that
this
like
before like Tennessee Whiskey really.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was like right as all that was like, like I said, I think the record just came out like a month before that show or something like that, and it sold out. I think he was already well established from songwriting and from Steel Drivers and all the other things, but he had a name, but like wasn't at the point where he is today for sure. So I was like seeing him in a small club, but even that, like I remember that night going in there, I'm like, this is never going to happen again. Like this guy's on a rocket to the top, and it was like crazy to think about that night and stuff, that I get to experience that in such a small club, and then now he's playing amphitheaters and giant arenas and everything else. So
yeah, man. No, I can only imagine the Firebirds. It's not a big venue by any means. So when you're in there, you're really close to them. That's so cool.
I think it was capped out at like 400 people, so it was pretty packed in there. But it was a neat night, man. I'm glad I made it in there, and but yeah, he's brilliant songwriter, very prolific.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see his new record. He's had one that was always kind of stuck with me for whatever reason. And I remember it was just a YouTube video for a long time. I remember somebody shot a camera, cell phone camera video of it, and it's You Should Probably Leave. And it's like, I remember seeing this and I'm like, I like this song a lot. And
wow.
I'm like, for like 8 years, like just, ever I go back and revisit this YouTube video.
Yeah.
Because I like this song. And then I'm like, why hasn't he not like cut this song on a record? Like, he's put out a couple albums since then and stuff. And I'm like, and then finally it's on his new record, Starting Over and stuff. So it was cool to see that it finally made the album. And, but I mean, he's one of those guys though. He's just got hundreds and songs, like so it's like finally this one made the cut. Like he felt like it was one of his best ones or most appropriate on that album, or whatever thought went into it. But but yeah, it's
he has a very interesting story though, because he started out in Nashville as a songwriter.
Yeah.
And all these hits that you hear on the radio, country radio and pop, he wrote. Like a lot of these songs, and you don't know about
co-wrote,
it. Yeah, or co-wrote. Yeah, like he's involved in one way or another in the process, and it's so interesting. But yeah, it makes me kind of curious if he has a lot of these songs that he's just sitting on and kind of working, reworking, and kind of waiting for the right time to put out.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a bunch that he keeps to himself. That you know. But yeah, that's what he. I remember hearing him in a Howard Stern show interview, and he was talking about something about that, like learned that songwriting was a job that, you know, he could get paid to do that. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And, you know, just like so nonchalant, like this, and then turns out he's like one of the best to do it. And like, it's,
man,
it's pretty wild, but yeah.
Yeah. Definitely an inspiration for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah. Yeah. He's, I was like, even before I, really, you know, before Traveler and stuff, like actually, you know, really knew his name as an artist and stuff. I remember seeing his name on all these, you know, like songwriting credits and stuff. So, and that's me as a fan. I like to kind of nerd out in liner notes and like learn who wrote all these songs, and you do realize, especially in country music, there's a handful that produced probably 75% of what you hear on the radio. You know, there's like a lot of these guys are just like the same people, like writing hit after hit and stuff for people. So but yeah, you start realizing there's, you know, Chris Stapleton and Shane McNally and Dallas Davidson and these, you know, these couple writers that write for all kinds of artists and produce hit after hit.
They got something down that they need to share with everyone else.
Well, same in pop too, like Ryan Tedder. Yeah, I was gonna say he produces a crazy amount of pop music for people, and along with his own band and stuff. So
dude. Yeah, One Republic I've been a fan of for years, and yeah, he was one of the main guys that really made me want to start writing piano songs, because he's, you know, amongst all the phenomenal pianist singers, both like rock, pop, all of it. But yeah, man, he is something else.
Yeah. Yeah, and they put on a heck of a show. I got to catch One Republic live maybe a couple years ago. Whatever it's been, but it's been a little while now. But yeah, they're a ton of fun. Real good show.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right, let's put in another song here of yours, and this is a song we did again live today called "Tangled Free." And what would you like to share about "Tangled Free"?
So this song, it started off years ago, another really old idea that I just had kind of bouncing around. But I remember I'm the baby in my family. I have two older sisters. And in high school, I was given the hand-me-down car, which was a red Volvo kind of sedan. And it had a moonroof that was broken, which it would kind of decide when it wanted to work and when it wouldn't. All right. But I remember driving down Manchester from 270 going towards Kirkwood, and it started raining, and it was sunny. You gotta love St. Louis. It was sunny and raining at the same time. It was one of those days, and the moonroof opened up on itself. I didn't press any buttons. It just opened up, and as it was raining, so I was getting rained on. And yeah, the words kind of just came to my head, and yeah, it all started kind of the puzzle, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of just a mix of memories and kind of funny thoughts that I've put together, and it tells a good story, but. Yeah, it's just a lot of memories over kind of my college years that fit right. And yeah, I really like that song.
Yeah, nice, man.
Holding out for a rainy day, to drive with the top down, let the rain wash over me. Next to you where I'll always stay, it's a perfect picture to see the beauty in the gray. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Something I wish that I knew better. times we passed the spot I'm standing in. Even though I knew how you felt, I still crossed lines and paths we took. The broken road ran like a book, straight to sleep. But I still dream the nights of Tangled Free. The nights of Tangled Free. On the city lights, neon dreaming of a summer night. Only cause inside, sneak past, squeeze back some life cause you're dynamite. Darling, won't you come and dance with me? Under the street lights glowing gleam, I seen where I started, and I found out where my heart is now. You know, oh now you know. Something I wish that I knew back then. Seeing glass and times we've passed the spot I'm standing in. Even though I knew how you felt, I still crossed lines and paths we took. The broken road ran like a book, straight to sleep. But I still dream the nights of Tangled Free. The nights of Tangled Free.
Well, you did get into the studio a little while back over at Gaslight here in St. Louis, and you recorded some of these live acoustic, and which turned out really nice. And that collection of songs now available wherever you get your digital music at, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, available everywhere: Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, Apple Music.
So if you like some of this stuff, you can go over there and add it to your favorite playlist and download and everything else. But I wanted to highlight one on there that I really liked, and that I thought, and it also sound, I mean, like, you know, a little different than some of your other stuff. And also I like that it's a little, it's almost like a rap. Like you're very, I'm talking about Beauty and the Light, and it's very, a lot of words. Know, that's the only thing I like is, but I liked that it's like more of an upbeat tempo to it also. But it was just fun. It was fun to kind of start singing along with it, and it was just really super catchy for me. So I really like this song a lot. And
what you say, soldier? Give it to me gently as those bullets pierce my skin. What you say, father? Kick your kids out cause they were born into natural sin. I'm so tired of trying to fight for right and you're watching from the side. We've all got lives, born with pride. The beauty and pigment shines in the light. Come on now. Come on now. Would you trade shoes for a day? Haven't seen it all in a different way. There's no more gray, colors all fade. Positive in life is beautiful, I'd say. No more fire, no more blood. Mama's house in flames, cars flipped all night. Bullets fire for a rubber fight. Anyone alive can see this ain't right. So we pray for some peace and for some light. So we pray for the kids to be alright. Keep on fighting, keep surviving. Always searching for the light, and we pray. Oh, 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 oh. Here I go, let me start the heat. Walls crawling, demons won't give you peace. Here I go, let me start the heat. Coming back and gone playing on repeat. Just need a with no choice to take. You wake up in another time and space. Different dimensions act to fill the place. In our hearts you will always stay. So we pray for some peace and for some light. So we pray for the kids to be alright. Keep on fighting, keep surviving. Always searching for the light. And we pray. Oh, 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 oh. So we pray for some peace and for some light. So we pray for the kids to be alright. Keep on fighting, keep surviving. Always searching for the light. And we pray. Oh, 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 oh. Come on now. Come on now.
And this, like I said, this is we're going to play the studio version from Gaslight. But
Yeah.
what about this song? Anything you think of with Beauty and the Light?
So this song started out right around the time of the Mike Brown shooting. So I had a lot of friends that were kind of on both sides of the debate. And on social media, you get a lot of these conversations that can be very nasty and pretty rude, I guess. But yeah, it was based off of that and kind of the experiences that we had in St. Louis during those times. It's kind of crazy times,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I a lot of the feelings and ideas were put into that song. And it also was amongst a time where I had gay friends in the military that were speaking out about things going on. I also had a lot of friends in West County that were dealing with heroin issues amongst their friends and classmates, former classmates that they had. So it was a lot of feelings just getting out and that I needed to kind of speak out about, that I felt was good to be talked about. Especially being somebody kind of sitting, looking at all these things going on around you. It's a lot. So trying to be positive was really the kind of the driving force behind the song. It's just, you need to look at the positive things in any way. Mm-hmm. It's life can be hard for everybody. And when you look at things in kind of a cup half full kind of way, it can make things a little bit better sometimes, but it was just a good way to discuss it and get the feelings out there. But yeah, so I really love that song, man. And I like that you said it was kind of like a rap, but it was also at an upbeat pace.
Right.
When I originally recorded that song, so obviously it's an acoustic here, but I had a driving kind of drum beat that was very like four to the floor, kind of keeping it going. So once I record that and have that out, it's going to kind of give it a better sound, I think. But yeah, man, I really love that song. It's one of those songs, again, that just brings me back to a certain time and place. And it reminds me a lot of the relationships I had when I was writing that song and who I was thinking of when those ideas were coming together. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm glad that you like it, man. And I'm glad it's connecting with people.
There was something also bring it all together. I think it was right around that time also with when I saw Sturgill Simpson. He came to town like around with all the protests and things, and he and I remember he started the show with like something like heard y'all could use a party, and and he's like, just imagine we're in a garage or somewhere turned up loud or something, like, it's like and it was basically like, wasn't. He didn't want to. I felt like he didn't. He just wanted to help take our mind off of some of the stuff for a little, for an hour, just to. But it was, it was a really, really a sad thing.
Man.
The current those and something we're still dealing with.
Yeah,
These are all still issues.
Occurrence.
Yeah, these are all still issues that we deal with every day here in town, and it's unfortunate, man. But it's
but it's good to have people like Sturgill Simpson that are willing and comfortable enough to speak out about their feelings, about what they believe, and he's a very open-minded cat. So it's cool to hear what he has to say. But yeah, when it's times like that, you want to just take everybody away for a couple hours.
Right. Yeah, man. But yeah, I really enjoyed this song, and like I said, you can find that wherever you're streaming your music at. Patrick Gerard, and it's just titled Live at Gaslight. Is that correct?
Yep, Live at Gaslight Studio.
Yeah. So, which is a really nice place. I know they JB was a big force with that early, and I think they just recently changed ownership and some things going on over there. But I'm hoping that it still maintains being a big part of our St. Louis music scene. It's a real nice little studio and bar, and get some tacos and everything else. And
there's no place like it, man. They're few and far between where you can see a well-sounding band artist playing in the studio and while you're enjoying some tacos and some beers. Man. It's
it's a cool
it's
spot.
A unique place. Yeah.
You were saying that this is something though, like you might want to take some of these songs to a studio with a full band. Is that that's something you said you wanted to do? Yeah,
so I'm always recording in the house and trying to get the best sound possible. But yeah, I definitely would like to have a drummer, a bassist, another guitarist, and maybe a keyboardist to accompany me and give it kind of a full band sound. So yeah, that's something I'm working on and hope to have out very, very soon.
Yeah. Are you still putting the band together, or is that, you got
Yeah. So I got a bunch of buddies that I'm talking to that I would like to start playing more with. So yeah, it's in the works, man. It's happening.
All right. That'd be cool though. I would like that. Now, if it's like I said, the acoustic stuff I love a lot, but it is fun sometimes, like I said, giving some of these songs a more of a full band proper treatment like that, and seeing where these things could evolve into.
Yeah, a little more space, a little more sound, and kind of a little power to it. Yeah. But yeah, there's definitely a few songs here and there that I'm going to keep acoustic and keep very approachable. But yeah, definitely having a little extra sound behind me would be nice.
Yeah, man, and we'll do. And I think it would be fun too, just to do some larger scale shows and stuff. And like, sure. I mean, obviously, you play around town quite a bit and as solo acoustic, but yeah, it'd be fun to like maybe, having the band for a special occasion to be like, yeah, we can, we can do this. And so having options. That's
exactly. Yeah.
That's a big part of it,
Yeah. As nice as it is to have the freedom to play solo shows whenever, wherever, it is nice to have the option to have a bigger sound if need be, fill out more space.
Yeah. Well, speaking of shows, you got a couple of things on the calendar and playing over at Botanica.
Yeah. So
September 3rd.
Yeah, I just played there last night. I'll be back there on September 3rd, out in Botanica in Wildwood. It's just off Manchester Road. I'll be there the 3rd of September. I'll also be there a couple times in October. I'll be there the 15th and the 29th of October as well.
Yeah.
Both Saturday nights.
And you can find more dates and music and video and pictures and everything else follow along with Patrick on your Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. So get plugged in there. And
yeah. So you can find me at Patrick Gerard Music on pretty much all social medias, YouTube, everything like that. And then on Twitter, I'm Patrick Gerard _, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, let's. We got one more tune we want to throw in, and this is the last one we did live acoustic today, and a song titled "Space."
Yeah.
And what comes to mind around space?
So this one is one of the more recent songs that I wrote. So recent, yeah, that's kind of different term. But yeah, so it was during COVID. It was right as kind of COVID hit. So long story short, my girlfriend Delilah lived in Houston, Texas, and she's from St. Louis originally and was planning to move back. When she got here, the plans on where she was originally going to stay kind of fell through. So she ended up staying with me at my parents' where I was living at the time. And it was really just about kind of the joke, the line at the beginning, the joke that we made that we were going to go from being in separate cities to like living right next to each other was something that we had joked about for the longest time. And when COVID hit, that's literally what happened. She ended up living with me. So it was a very funny juxtaposition and a kind of interesting story that we have, but it really made our relationship strong because you really get to know somebody when you're living right next to them. And especially when it was COVID times, being home all the time. Yeah, it was really a growing experience for both of us. And so it's a good song that I wrote for her that, yeah, again, we can kind of just look back and smile at. And yeah, obviously everyone's got their COVID experience and what happened during those years. But yeah, this was a very funny story that we have. So yeah, Space is that song for that story.
Yeah, man.
It was just a joke that we'd say. Living in the same town was the start to make. Little did we know the world shut down before we'd wake. We would say it was fate. I'll take your space and you take mine. Nothing we could have seen unless the sign is signed. I'll take your space and you take mine. Nothing we could have planned for, but we're making our way just fine, just fine. Your hands are always cold, they're always mine to hold. Not as warm as Texas, so Houston, hold your soul. Crossing state lines still too fine. I wanna be where you go. It still shows what I've learned to know. I'll take your space and you take mine. Nothing we could have seen unless the side is signed. I'll take your space and you take mine. Nothing we could have planned for, but we're making our way just fine, just fine, just fine.
You ever watch a show Married at First Sight?
I've seen a little bit of it. Yeah,
I mean it's pretty silly, but it's entertaining.
Yeah,
and I watch a lot of these shows with my wife, and
it's on Hulu, isn't it?
I mean, it could be. We've been watching it on Netflix. I think it's originally from the Lifetime channel. Okay. But anyway, so there's some past seasons on Netflix, and we're watching this one on there now, and just made me really laugh hard because there's we didn't really put it together at the beginning what the timeline was when this was recorded, but the couples all like got married, and then they started showing like preview stuff when COVID happened at the beginning of COVID and stuff, and so like now that we know everything, it's just like, so now we're like on the part of the series where they're like they're married, they've all moved in together, and so they've only known each other like 2 weeks or whatever, and then they're like, stuff about COVID starts happening, and they're like, yeah, here it's just like a flu kind of thing, or these different things like that. So they're like saying all the same stuff we were all saying at the time, and I'm just laughing, and I'm like, they have no idea what's gonna happen. Like it's like that it's all gonna blow over, in 2.5 years, and like, so it's like, whatever. But I just it's. So I'm like, I'm waiting. There's gonna be some good drama hitting here real soon. I haven't finished the season yet, but I'm just like, it does makes me, as you're describing your story, just thinking about these couples moving in together during COVID, and it's like that's a good way to find out how how to test this relationship when you're stuck in a house together like that. And
right, man, 100%. It's a make or break situation.
Yeah,
and it was a good experience for sure.
Yeah. But that was definitely some weird times, and I'm glad things are getting better. We're still something we deal with, but we're everybody's things are getting a lot better now.
Right, we're dealing with it the best we can, and I'm glad we're in a better place now than we were previously. Yeah, man.
Well, I got a couple questions for you, Patrick, and get your take on some of these. All right, one I've been having fun with is. Day comes along, we got a Patrick Gerard action figure. What would you like to see as like your 3 accessories to go with your action figure?
Oh man, I have a guitar strapped to my back, probably. I think that would be hilarious. I'm trying to think. 3 accessories. A joint or a cigarette, just to kind of give it a little personality, I think. The third item, man, that's tough.
Yeah. I don't know. We don't have to go 3.
A chapstick.
Chapstick?
Yeah, chapstick.
Yeah. Got to have a good chapstick.
Yeah, you got to stay hydrated. You got to stay glossy.
Yeah. All right. What about a song that always gets stuck in your head? Is there anything that's been currently on repeat for you in your head?
Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve has been stuck in my head for years.
Yeah, great song.
And I don't know if you're this way. When I fall asleep, I'll have a song in my head, and then when I wake up, I'll have a different song already playing in my head.
Sure.
A lot of the time, it's Bittersweet Symphony. Yeah. Yeah. Just such a great song, man. It's it's classic, but it's such a great tune that's always bouncing around my head.
I've been I just recently started following I forget his Brandon, I think something. Lead singer and songwriter for the Verve Pipe. Yeah. Which also...
Yeah, dude, I love that, man.
Also great band.
Yeah.
But he posted something the other day that made me laugh because he's like, that I'm not... I didn't write Bittersweet Symphony. I'm not from the Verve, but it's
dude.
But sometimes I tell people I did, just, something like that. Just like he still takes credit for it because it's a great song. And
dude.
It just made me laugh. Like,
well, it's funny you say that. So the first CD I was ever given was the Verve Pipe. It was their album Villains.
Yeah.
And so, I remember for years the CD was so worn down because I always had it in my CD player, but I would fall asleep listening to it. So like Villains, Cup of Tea, The Freshman, like that was the shit for me back then. And man, it's such a great album, and he's a phenomenal songwriter. Right. So I'm glad they're still putting stuff out and playing.
Yeah, actually they were just playing they just did a couple of things fairly recently. I don't know if they some of them, I don't know if he lives in the area maybe or just happens to the way it worked out, but they played the Wildy Theater in Belleville, I think it is, over there.
Cool.
Okay. And then as a headlining show, and then they opened for Five for Fighting at the pageant like just a couple of weeks ago.
That's right. Yeah.
So I was glad. I wish I would have been able to make one of those and see him live because like,
oh man,
I've never happened, but I'm big on that sound, a lot of that '90s rock stuff like that, and
alternative, man. Yeah. Yeah, them and Five for Fighting would be a hell of a show. I wish I would have seen that.
Yeah. So anyway, I just I'm with you. I'm glad they're still doing stuff and are back doing stuff. However, I don't. It's just funny though. Like both of them, both bands like kind of came out like the same time, And it's just it's funny that there's the verb and the verb pipe. And it was just like, and
you might as well take credit for that song after you have enough people asking you about it. Yep, it was me.
Yeah. But yeah, it made me laugh. Pretty silly.
That's hilarious.
All right, what's a movie or TV show you wish you were in? As far as maybe like, is there a certain world that comes to mind that you would like to be a part of, or?
I mean, I love like Parks and Rec and The Office. Like those are the classic ones.
Yeah, Office is such a good show.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and it's one of those that Parks and Rec. There's a few other ones like Community is another one that I will watch on to the point of annoying Delilah, where I'll be just constantly playing them through over and over again. Yeah, maybe The Office, maybe Parks and Rec. Yeah,
Is there like if it was like The Office, do you see yourself like as a certain character, or do you just want to be in the office there with somebody like as another employee in the office? And
oh man, I would just love to be an employee of the office. Right. Yeah, all those characters have such unique personalities, and finding out that they're kind of part of themselves. Obviously, as an actor, you're putting yourself into the role, but. Yeah, I would just love to sit in and take it all in.
Yeah, it's weird. It's that and like I'm also big on I love Office Space movie, man, but it's weird at how well written all those characters are, because they are all real people that you meet at any office job. Like it's weird. 100%, It is weird how you can go from job to job, but it's always the same group of characters. Like it's
right.
Oh yeah, that guy's definitely the Jim. That's the Pam. It's like,
yeah, dude.
And it's just funny how you can start, picking up on all the personality traits like that.
Right. No, it's funny you said that. That was crossing my mind when I was working my last job. I was working as a marketing analyst, and yeah, you definitely meet all those personalities in the office in one way or another. Some people more than others, but yeah, it's hilarious to find the similarities.
Yep. Yeah. That's a great show though, man. I was watching one last night. Where they Dunler Mifflin picnic, and where they were like having the volleyball tournament and stuff, and like all that. It was really funny.
Yeah, dude.
I haven't watched the show in a while, so it was. But I was like, there was a while there was like you were saying, I would probably watch it over and over and over, and it was just so. I kind of gave myself a break, so it was fun to go back and watch. It was just having to be on a repeat playing, and I was like, so I sat and watched it for a while. But
yeah, I just saw the Goodbye Toby episode this morning. That was on Comedy Central. But yeah,
there you go.
You definitely need to take a break here and there, but they're always good to go back to.
Oh yeah. All right, what about dream duet or collaboration you'd like to see for yourself? Is there?
So yeah, man, like Sturgill Simpson would definitely be one of them. I'm trying to think who else, because there's a lot of phenomenal artists out there.
Sure.
Man, Jamie Foxx is such a talent. Like I just watch interviews of him because he's a great storyteller, but he's also got a very funny insight and can do the voices of whoever he's talking about. So yeah, definitely maybe Jamie Foxx. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. He's I love that he.
Bon Iver as well.
Yeah,
definitely Justin Vernon. But yeah, Jamie Foxx.
I like the whole like that he was doing, being Ray in the movie, being Ray Charles, and then actually recorded as Ray Charles for Kanye West on that track, Gold Digger and stuff like. So I just thought that was funny that he got to do that impression for a song actually and stuff. And
have you seen there's videos of Jamie meeting Ray Charles before he played him in the movie? Have you seen those videos?
I don't think so.
So they're very wild, but it's him. They're in a studio because they have all these pianos set up, but they were just introduced, and he's like, "All right, let's play together." And so they sit down, and Ray's playing with Jamie, and he's finding out how talented Jamie is, but he's like, "Come on, man, play it. It's right underneath your fingers. Like you shouldn't be missing this. Come on." And of course, he rose to the occasion and really impressed him. But it was it's so interesting to see. Because he looks so much like him, man. Right. And he did a phenomenal job in the movie. But seeing them interact was such a cool thing. I can only imagine how crazy it was to sit in that room.
All right. Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
Did you watch? He's got a new one on Netflix called Day Shift. Did you
No.
check that out yet?
I haven't. Is it pretty good?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, but it's entertaining. It's
Day Shift?
yeah, it's a vampire movie. Him and Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg are vampire hunters.
Really? Okay.
And
I gotta check that out.
So if you like zombie type of or vampire type of movie, so like it reminded me a lot of like because everybody has their like take on it. They're like sometimes it's like with zombie movies in particular, sometimes they're slow, like Walking Dead,
Right.
and then sometimes they're like fast zombies and stuff, and it's like, so it kind of reminded me of like Dawn of the Dead, like a lot of like these vampires are fast and athletic, so there's a lot of like good action fight scenes and stuff,
Yeah.
and a lot of blood splatter and stuff. So like as long as you're
Okay with
into into all that stuff,
Yeah.
watching Snoop Dogg kill a bunch of vampires is pretty entertaining. And
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
and then Dave Franco was in it as for the comedic stuff, so he's a lot of fun in there too.
Interesting, okay.
It's quite the combo, but it turned out really good. Like I mean, I enjoyed it. Like especially if it was like there's there's kind of a tier to it. Like if this was in theaters and I watched it, I probably wouldn't be all that into it. But the fact that I can watch it for free on my couch, I'll watch on Netflix, like
Makes it a little different.
yeah, much more enjoyable. And like I'm like, okay, yeah. So, but yeah,
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it's worth watching. That's for sure. So
Cool. Speaking of that, what's your favorite Halloween movies now that Halloween's coming around?
I mean, I'm big on the actual Halloween franchise, Michael Myers.
Dude, same.
Obviously, go see. I'm excited because there's a new one coming out this year. So
Right.
It's supposed to be the end. So,
Supposed to be, yeah.
yeah, we'll see. But I don't know. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
And of course John Carpenter's legend, and the scores holds still incredibly creepy and fantastic and everything else. Like that music,
just hear it and
so iconic and stuff. And
Right.
but yeah, so anyway, those are always big ones for me.
Cool.
But I also like I don't know, they're not necessarily Halloween, but they came out around Halloween, but like the Saw movies and stuff.
Yeah.
they're always like
Classic horror movie, yes.
They're I don't know. They're super cheesy, but they're entertaining too. And
Yeah.
I still watch. I mean, I haven't watched them in a while, but like we were big on it for a long time, where we would go and watch everyone and stuff, and whenever they came out. And
Yeah, dude. I always have that scene stuck in my head where the dude is stuck in a glass cage with water in it, and he has to stab through his neck to breathe. And it's just such a horrible, terrifying scene. But that's for whatever reason that is stuck with me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a little over the top, but they're so great.
Right.
Yeah, they're great movies, man.
Yeah, they're. I still laugh about some of the stuff, and but there was like somebody, I don't know, something. There was like one of those little trike though, and it was like just made me laugh thinking about that little Jigsaw coming in on that bike, and
I just think it's a scary movie.
yeah, right, yeah,
where it's Shaq and Dr. Phil, and Shaq cuts off the wrong foot or something. It's just, oh yeah, they're so great. They're so great.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's what about you? Got? Do you have another particular Halloween favorite, or that too?
So yeah, Halloween's my favorite franchise when it comes to horror movies by far. The same neighbor that gave me the guitar, the first one, was the same dude that showed me how to play the Halloween theme on the guitar, because it's just two frets. But yeah, man, that would be the favorite. But when it comes to Halloween stuff, I always loved the Disney Channel shows that had Halloween episodes. And I remember on a couple Saturdays before Halloween, they would show all of them. And so I'll still go back and watch Even Stevens Halloween, or Lizzie McGuire. They're not great shows, but I just love the episodes because it just brings back good memories. But yeah, man. Anything kind of Halloween themed, like Hocus Pocus, we love that stuff. So yeah, all of it.
Yeah, new Hocus Pocus on the way too.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's a sequel coming out with I think it should be September 23rd or something like that. It's coming to Disney Plus.
Oh, so it's pretty soon then. Okay. I had no idea about that.
And it's like all three of the originals are back. And
Dope. Okay.
I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of high expectations for it.
Right,
You know,
right.
but the fact that it's on
Still be
Disney.
cool to see.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun to see the three of them back together. And, you know, it's
Right.
like, and the fact that it's on Disney Plus for, you know, if you subscribe, you can get it for free
Right.
already. So
It's definitely not going to the theater. You get to enjoy it at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll watch. I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll
but-
be worth a watch for sure.
But I'm with you. There's a lot of these things I don't necessarily. I know they're not great, but I watch it because there's a sense of nostalgia to it all and everything else. Like it makes it. There's memories that I have that take me back to stuff. Like there's all sorts of them for sure. And I think a lot of that's with anything with like a grown up on that Nickelodeon or in Disney movies and all that stuff. Like
Yeah, man.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Got one more for you. All right. Say you go to the concert and the band, band pulls you up on stage and you get to front the band for one song. What would be the band and what would be the song that you would like to perform with a?
So my dad listened to Hootie and the Blowfish a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Darius Rucker, I would definitely, my voice, it's one of my warm-up songs. I play Let Her Cry first most of the time for my sets because it allows me to see how I'm going to do that day. It's just how my voice is. But definitely like if I could sing Let Her Cry or one of Hootie's bigger hits, that would probably be like the best memory ever. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, man. Of course, like anything like that going back to that 90s, stuff. I listen to a ton of 90s, but yeah, that Hootie's definitely on heavy rotation there with, Let Her Cry or Time or Hold My Hand.
Hold My Hand, yeah.
Like it's just a lot of good songs, man.
Yeah,
and,
dude. If he had the puka shell necklace on as well, that would be awesome.
Right. And I think they're doing some. I've seen some advertisement on Facebook, some kind of Hootie Fest or something like that. They're like doing some kind of show down together again. And
Cool.
So yeah, I'd love to if they would like actually tour and come to town and stuff and do a Hootie show here.
That would be awesome.
I remember, speaking of all this too, memory that pops up when I think of that is, of course, now he's, doing really well with his country music career and things as Darius Rucker. So a lot of people know his name now. But I remember I used to watch a lot of those like I Love the 90s and I Love the 80s and stuff like on those shows on VH1. And I remember Darius Rucker was like on a lot of them as in the panel or whatever, or the, collaborating on that and stuff. And he's like, I remember an audio clip of him saying something like he was like, every time he like lands in the airport or something like that, people always run up and like, yell Hootie and stuff, calling him Hootie. And he's like, my name's not Hootie. My name's Darius. And like, it just made me laugh at how like, just forever known as Hootie. Like, he's just always,
it's stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, and then I think he said something like that. He's like, I just want somebody call me Darius or something like that. And like, so now he's like, he's got, like I said, he's doing really well for himself with the new career and things. But there was a good period of time there after Hootie and before the solo careers that he, was only the guy that was, formerly Hootie. And, but
this poor guy, he will forever be known as Hootie.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't matter how great you are or how successful you are, you're still going to be Hootie. Yeah, I mean, he's awesome. Darius Rucker is so great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the best. But yeah, man, that'd be fun. Let's see if we can make that happen. Get to perform a Hootie one of these days.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that would be so sweet.
Well, again, get plugged in with Patrick on your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. Stream the songs wherever you get your music. Download it and support. And come on out to some shows. Like I said, we'll be over at Botanica and on the 3rd. So come on over there but I appreciate you doing this, buddy. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for having me, Jay. I appreciate you, and thank you for coming over and being willing to hang out with me for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad we finally got to meet, and I'm excited to hear what's next with the band recordings and stuff when those get coming out. So maybe we can link up and again talk about those when that's ready to go.
I would love to, Shane. That sounds awesome, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Patrick, and thanks everybody.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. I appreciate you, and please listen and stream. I appreciate you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.